Well, hello. We are back for the final session. Yeah. So this is the last video of this little mini series. This is for the Procreate Beginners series, which is available for free on their YouTube page. And I have basically done the course, recorded myself doing it, and then just decided to pop it on here for you guys, because why not? Maybe there are some stuff that will be helpful or useful, I hope. I guess we just crack on with with the last session. I was quite curious about this session actually, because in the very first snippet where there's a 30-second video before the 4 episodes, they say that they're even going to teach you the basics of animation, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, we'll give it a go. For me, I listen to a lot of lo-fi music, and for those that don't know what lo-fi is, it's just really chill music that you might find maybe in a spa, but it could also have a theme to it. So it could be R&B vibes, it could be jazzy vibes or pop vibes or funk vibes, but it still has this kind of really chill, mellow vibe to it. And one of my friends actually says it's she refers to it as my elevator music. I listen to a lot of that, but on YouTube the lo-fi videos usually come with a really beautiful piece of artwork that moves a little bit, so it's ever so slightly animated, and I've always thought, I wonder how that's done. So I was kind of hoping that this would give me maybe an inkling as to what it's like to do that, and if it's possible to do that, because that would be pretty cool. I can't make lo-fi music, I'm not massively musically talented, but to be able to draw the kind of artworks that go with lo-fi videos would be nice. So yeah, I was quite curious. Anyway, I'm getting very, very distracted. I should be telling you what I'm doing on my screen. So they start off with this session by telling you that there are different ways of using drawing guide in terms of getting things to draw in different sections of the page the same. So they have one where it's the one you use in this session is symmetry. So we pick a butterfly, or in my case I picked a moth because I have a bit of an obsession with moths. I think they're very underrated and really pretty. So I just went on Pinterest, I grabbed a picture of a moth and I inserted it into my canvas, and what they end up doing is they get you to use the symmetry drawing guide to, obviously you only then draw one half of the butterfly, and the app will automatically draw the mirror image on the other side. But it does take you through, there are a few different ones. So there's a grid layout of symmetry, which is really good for floor plans and stuff. There is a circular one, and I have actually used that for a commission that I did. I used that to put together a piece of artwork that was a mandala for a bathroom wall, and that worked really well as well. But they take you through that. They show you how to insert a photo. There's another useful thing I didn't know, but you can insert a private photo, and I hadn't heard of this before, but basically if you insert a photo as a private photo, so on the insert photo option, if you swipe to the left it says insert private photo, and that basically means when you have your time-lapse replay of you doing your artwork, it won't show up. And I never really considered that before, but I thought it would be kind of handy. So once you've got the photo into the app, they get you to turn down the opacity, which is what I'm just doing here. Well, I'm doing that on the second layer, but you turn the opacity down of the moth, and then you add in a bunch of layers. I think there's 5 layers you add in all at once, and then you can start to draw different parts of it, but all of the layers will show as assisted. So the drawing guide that's available in the actions menu is like a little toggle that you turn it on the left hand side, but then on the layers here, if you can see that it says assisted under each one of them. So that will either be because you've turned the toggle on the left hand side menu for the actions, or it will be because you have double tapped on the layer, and when it brings that menu up of options that you can select, you can click drawing guide and add it to each layer, so they get you to practice using that, which is quite handy. Drawing assist, sorry. They call it two different things, but it's the same thing. So on the actions menu on the left hand side, you toggle on the drawing guide, but it will show on the layers when you double tap it and open the actions menu on the layer as drawing assist. It does the same thing, just got a different name. Not quite sure why, but there we go. One nice little tidbit of information as well is they definitely get you to use like more pastels in this session, which is also something that's very close to my heart. I love pastels. But what I found, which is really handy because I do draw quite a lot in pastels, is on the colour options, you have one of the tabs is called Harmony. And if you drag the light to dark slider that's underneath the colour pane, when it goes obviously right down to dark, it goes to black. But when it's up like it is now, where it's on the white end, it just brings up all these different pastel colours, which is really cute because for me, like I did a whole collection of D&D stickers, Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you who are not nerds. I am a nerd. But yeah, I did a whole collection of Dungeons and Dragons stickers, one for every class that there is that you can play, and I did a whole pastel range, so I kind of wish I'd known about that before, but I know now, so it's all progress. But yeah, I did like a pastel set, and then I did like an original colour collection, which was just like not pastels, just for people who, you know, maybe they don't like pastels or something, I don't know, but I really wanted to do a cute pastel vibe, so that's why. As a cheeky, shameless plug as well, all of those stickers are available on my Etsy store, which if you guys haven't checked it out, please go check it out, because that would be awesome. It's got the D&D stickers on it, including one for the Dungeon Master. It's also got some like pastel baby dragon stickers on it. It's got some raccoon stickers. What else has it got on it? Some witchy stickers as well. Yeah, I really like those ones. I made from one of the art cards that I mentioned last session, the witchy vibe art cards I'm working on. I printed the first one off as a set of stickers. So I did one that was like the whole piece, and then I broke it down into sections. So there was a moth on it. There was a lit green lunar moth, which is really, really pretty. There was flowers, there was potion bottles, so like I did like this little sticker set that had a few of each of those in it as well. So yeah, go check it out if you haven't already. And there is also not just YouTube. I have an Instagram account, I have TikTok, and YouTube. So please, do all of the liking and the subscribing and the following and all that good stuff, because that's really nice. And if you want to buy something from the Etsy shop, that's an extra added bonus. Anyway, I keep getting distracted today. I don't know what it is. I feel like my brain's kind of all over the place. So they are, when you do this artwork, they're going to get you to do, I think it's like 3 different layers to start off with when you create the butterfly or the moth. So the first layer is the body, the second layer is the base colour under the wings, and then the third layer is the decoration or the detail that's on top. And what I'm doing now is I am just rubbing out any of the base layer that is showing through from behind my like outline decoration. just so that it looks a little bit neater. Apologies that you can't see what's on my screen right now. I think I need to find a better way of recording these because it's not the first time it's happened where either the screen like on my iPad has been a bit blurry or the screen's gone really bright and you guys can't see what's on it. So I will see if I can do something about that for future videos because it's not ideal. This is obviously like I only started this YouTube channel in January, so I'm kind of learning on the go in terms of what I need for like filming and that kind of thing. So any suggestions that anyone has on how to not get like my ring light to glare off of my screen would be very much appreciated. Because I originally had my ring light attached to like my desk mounted I don't know what you call it, like a boom, I guess. I've got like this kind of thing that attaches to your desk that's like, maybe it's called a boom. I don't know what it's called. What it makes me think of is, you know, the Pixar lamp? Imagine that, but without the lamp head. And instead you put your phone there. So I have one of those attached to my desk and I usually record from my phone. And I did have the ring light attached to the same bit of metal, but then I have recently separated it. So maybe that's better. I guess we'll find out. So just add in the final touches now. They get you to use a clipping mask in a moment, just to make sure that you can add some nice texture to the butterfly wings. One of the brushes that they get you to do is the same one in a couple of different ones. And I actually really like it. I hadn't played with it much before. It's called the Old Beach brush. And for adding like a little bit of texture with like that's not completely solid, like it's kind of opaque, so it just adds like a little bit of a glow or a slight difference. It's actually really nice. But they do it through a clipping mask so that obviously you only paint within the shape of the butterfly. So they do get you to, and I think this is really good, like the lessons that you learn in session 1, 2 and 3, they carry them through so that you keep practicing and keep using them, and that's really handy because for me, like I'm one of those people that I have to learn by doing or like writing something out loads or that kind of thing, but mostly I have to physically do something to remember it, so the fact that they do that is really handy. So it looks like we are pretty much there with our moth / butterfly, and what I'm just doing now is this is the very start of the animation process. So they get you to like merge all of the different layers for the wings so that it's just on one layer, and then they get you to use the edit tool to separate the wings so that it's almost like you do like a copy and paste kind of thing. So you select, you can see I'm just trying to do it here at the moment. I had to rewatch it a couple times, but with the like edit shape section, you basically go in, you select rectangle, drag it across half the page, and that is going to put half of the wing on one layer and the other half on the other one. And what they're going to have a look at getting you to do is edit the perspective of the wings. So the aim is to make the wings flutter, obviously, and so they get you to use like, I think it's the warp tool over several layers and several groups to make it work, which is quite interesting. I hadn't really thought about it, but you can see now, so this is the animation guide. So at the moment, what happens initially is the layers almost act as frames, and it just flicks between them in the order that they are. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that the body is used as a background so that it stays solid throughout the whole of the animation, so that you can actually set it as a background. You can see, I think I'm about to do it in a second. So you tap on it and then you set it in, go into settings as background. And then you have to use the warp tool. So you copy the wings, you have like the left wing and the right wing, and you make that 2 layers, but those 2 layers are also a group, and then you duplicate the group, I think it's like 5 times. So you have 5, it sounds really complicated, but when you're doing it, it makes sense, and they walk you through it really well. So you can see I've got 2 groups here now, and each group has got a left and a right wing in it. So that essentially what you do is you work your way through the group. So you can see I've got the the tool here, the freeform tool, and on this second layer and the second group, so the base group, new group at the bottom, stays the same as the original one, and then the ones above it, you use the freeform tool to gradually shrink the wings, and that acts as like the frames for the movement. It takes a little bit of getting used to, and I did get a little bit lost, but not too much. But once you've watched it once or twice and wrapped your head around it, you're like, okay, cool, I've got this now. I realised as well, initially I was saying warp tool. It's not the warp tool. It's the freeform tool. So warp is a different one on the editing guide, but you're using the freeform tool. We're all learning here, myself included. That's the whole reason I wanted to start off my YouTube channel with this kind of thing, was to educate myself, and hopefully by educating myself I can help other people who want to try it and kind of give like a first-hand account of what it's like to do the course. The important thing to note for this particular animation as well, it happened about 20 seconds ago and I forgot to point it out, but there are different ways that you can set the frames up to show, to like appear. So initially when you do it, it will set to loop, which is a default, so it loops around from the first frame through to the last frame again and again. But because this is a butterfly or a moth, you want to select ping pong. So there are options in the bottom toolbar when you're working on that you can select from. And if you select ping pong, it makes it go back and forth. So that's what makes it look like the wings are opening and closing throughout the time that it plays through the different layers. And we're nearly there with this. So I had to do a little bit of rejigging because I'd kind of moved the wings into each other rather than changing that outside edge with the freeform tool to pull it in. I'd like pulled the whole thing across. So that's what I'm just doing right now. But then once you've finished it, you can see there's ping pong, look, ping pong and loop, so you can see those. And there's also underneath that frames per second. So I think they get you to put it down to like 10. Is it 10 frames? Do I remember right? Yeah, I remembered right. So that it looks like it is moving backwards and forwards. And I was quite pleased with this as a first go. I thought that's all right. I'll take that. Definitely curious to see what I can do as I build like my confidence up with this kind of thing. To what can I animate? Because that'd be pretty fun. I hope that you guys have enjoyed watching these. This is my first go at doing a little mini series. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope that it inspires you to give it a go. Okay, bye!